What up? What up? Good morning. Happy Mother's Day to all the nurses out there, to everybody out there, not just nurses, but to everybody. Everybody in healthcare, everybody doing their thing. All the good mothers out there, happy Mother's Day to y'all. Hopefully, y'all are having a good one. This is not going to be a long show because I have things to do today. Um, it's really not going to be, it's going to be about an hour. Got these stories queued up for y'all. Um, but I wanted to, I'm actually doing it because it's really based on a sister that was on the live, the nurse that was on the live here, actually in my city, in my state. Um, and it's a real shame. And I'm doing this because I really want all the women out there to be careful. Fellas, I want you to be careful too. Fellas, I want you to be careful too. Um, Shout out to Nurse Sheena P. Y'all go check her out. Yeah, it's terrible. It's very terrible. Um, it's very terrible. But before that, like I said, I got a couple stories before that. Shout out to again Nurse Sheena P. Happy Mother's Day to you. Happy Mother's Day to all the nurses, all the healthcare receptionists, all the CNAs, just everybody, all the decent mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. On top of that, I also want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the fathers that stepped up to play both roles. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Shout out to Emmanuel, real quick, CJ. By working so many jobs part time, do you miss out on the time and a half and overtime with a full time job? That's a great question, Emmanuel. I'm gonna actually do a whole video on this, but I'll summarize it very quickly. Um, the one of the reasons that I'll do so many jobs at one time is that I like to fill out each one. Okay, so when I fill out each one, see which one has the overtime rate. That's why I say I only do overtime. I only do part time at one, and the rest of them will be contingent. Whichever place is giving the most overtime at the moment, that's really the one I'll switch to part time, and then I'll get the benefits. You know what I'm saying? The pickup bonuses and the full time, not the full time, but the pickup bonuses and the overtime and all that kind of stuff. But you always want to have multiple jobs on deck because you never know. Sometimes they'll try to play with you, sometimes not. But you just gotta follow. You gotta follow the money. But I'm gonna do a whole video breakdown on that. I've seen situations like this to the how nurses was treating folks, relatives in the hospital, etc. Not saying it's related, but never know. The inside details. Thought sad. It's very sad. But good morning to y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We about to get into it. Now this first story. This first story. Um, this first story comes out of what the. Oh yeah, I needed to repeat. Let me see. Um, but I actually found this first story on TikTok. It's not really a story, but it's more so like a video. And um, I this listen, nurses, I want y'all to understand that you have targets on your backs at all forms. If you are outside of the job, if you are outside of your job, please put y'all badges away because people are petty and we have to adapt to the world that we are in. You dig what I'm saying? If you are outside of work, please put your badges away because you can have an altercation with a person that has nothing to do with your job, and then they find out you're a nurse, then they start hating and they start calling a job. And that's what happened to this young nurse that I'm about to show y'all. Actually, it's messed up. The video really doesn't tell what they got into it about, but the hate for nurses is so real because the public understands that um, the money that nurses get. That's really what it comes down to. And in this video, this lady was bragging about it. She was bragging about it in the midst of their argument, and that was all it took. That was all it took. So sometimes when they go low, shout out to Eric Mays, you can't go lower. Sometimes it's just best. I mean, you can if they don't know. And if you are going to go lower, take your badge off. I know. But I'm just saying, you said I'm always going lower? No, I don't always go lower. But take your badge off. Let's get into it. No. You can't always go lower. You cannot always go lower. So let me show y'all this TikTok video. So to set it up, I don't know why they got into it. The video don't really say why, but let's get into it. Out
of my house.
Actually, you live right there, and I'm right here.
Psycho bitch,
and you're touching my property. Vivi, get in the car.
No.
Vivi, get in the car.
Well, come on, get out of my house, Aaron.
You live right here?
Dad, their rights.
No, I didn't.
You gonna get out and do something, or you just gonna always talk shit?
Are you?
You scared little bitch. I'm here.
You hear that, Vivi? I know.
I'm here.
Yeah, go ahead.
And she just standing there, scrubs on. What department y'all think she work in? I think she probably a med-surg nurse. Shout out to all my med-surg nurses out there. She looked like she a med-surg nurse. I'm just playing. I'm guessing, but she probably a med-surg nurse. She probably pick up at the nursing home on the weekends and all that kind of stuff. But just how, got the name tag on, loud and proud. The lady getting all her information and everything like that. So let's continue.
Vivi, get in the car. You're making my son cry. Vivi, come on. Get in the car.
Pull up on my house again.
Get in the car.
We'll see you tomorrow.
No, you won't. I'm getting a restraining order on you.
For what? You being at my house?
You live right here, and we are right
here.
here. Shut my door.
Bitch, you're not my boss. What are you?
Now, how you gonna tell somebody you into it with that shut your door? Oh, Lord.
You think I have to do what you do? Eric.
Look, there she go. Zooming in on it. They got her whole name and everything. I'm not going to say her name. I don't need to say her name, but they got her all name and everything. She said definitely med-surg or ER. I'm going to say med-surg. But yo, she zoomed in on her and everything. She filed for this. That's petty, bro. You don't try to stop somebody the way they eat. But I guess when you go low, they gonna lower though. Whatever situation that took place. But I'm saying this to say, y'all just gotta be careful. Take your badge. When I leave work, I take my badge right on off. I take my joint right on off.
Rip your fucking lashes off, bitch.
They don't come off.
They don't come off.
Oh, sorry, use child support to pay for that?
Look at that.
Or is that free?
No, she didn't get a shot at the FUPA. She gave a shot at the FUPA. And she said, look at that. Y'all women is petty. Petty. She's talking about that ain't had nothing to do with the argument. And she got a shot of this woman's FUPA talking about some, look at that. Petty. Oh my God.
Section 8.
I live on Section 8.
Low income. What is it that they call it?
Nothing.
Now this is what made her report her. This shot right here. She said, "What are you on, Section 8, low income?" Now this was the shot that said, "All right." She said, "All right, B, I got one for you. Oh, I'm on Section 8. Okay. You're gonna be on Section 8 after I'm done with you."
And you're living off of a foreclosed home.
Off of a registered nurse's license.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. Y'all see how she flexed that RN on her real quick. We quickly, expeditiously. She was waiting for that. She was waiting for her to make a comment like that. Ooh, let's look at that one more time. She said offer one more time. Let's see.
Low income. What is it that they call it?
Nothing.
With Section 8.
I don't live on Section 8.
Low income. What is it that they call it?
Nothing. And you're living off of a foreclosed home.
Off of a registered nurse's license.
Yeah.
Boy, she popped that. She popped that tag like it was a chain, boy. Stop playing with her. She said, "Stop playing with me." Off a registered nurse's license. Shoot.
While you collect SSI checks from your baby dad.
So the reason that they don't get to stay is because what?
It is court ordered that Edgar has to be there for a pickup.
Are you that thirsty, honey?
No.
Oh, okay. So now this sounds like some baby daddy issues. Okay. Now this is what this is about. See, the first time I saw this, I didn't know, because it sounds like she's trying to tell her son again. She might be the new mom. That's what this is looking like. I don't know. I'm speculating, but from what I'm getting in the video, the nurse might be the mom. You know what I'm saying? The baby daddy, and I got a feeling the dude is black. The new mom, I mean the new, not the new mom, the new stepmom or something like that. The new girlfriend. I got a feeling the dude is black. I'm sorry, this guy black dude written all over it. This guy black dude written all over it. Okay. So yeah, this sounds like, you know, the old mom may be upset that, you know, I guess he might have upgraded, and she you know, she might be a little mad about that. But that's what this is sounding like. Some baby daddy issues, and this guy black dude written all over it.
It's court ordered. Do you know what a fucking court order is? A court order.
Javier doesn't stay.
Okay. Now that happened. That happened, ladies and gentlemen. So what happens next is that this lady went to the internet, the old mama. I'm gonna assume this is the old mama, the old girlfriend, the old chick, whatever. And she went to the internet and she put her name out there and she put where she worked at, and this video has now gone viral. See, now if only reason this is going viral is because she's a nurse. And it seems like nurses have more public responsibility than the damn police now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, that's literally the only reason this is going viral. If this was just two regular women, we wouldn't even be sitting here. But the reason this is going viral is because she's a nurse and she flexed her salary on her. When flexing goes wrong. But I want y'all to pay attention. She definitely didn't upgrade. She childish as F, arguing with his baby mama. Oh, fellas, be careful. Be careful. Jesus, be careful. I'll be trying to tell y'all. But this is what happened. Once she reported it, once she took it viral, they put her name out there, as y'all can clearly see. I'm gonna try to.
Out of my house.
Actually, you live right there, and I'm right here.
Hold on. I'm trying to.
Out of my house.
Actually, you live right there.
Man, it's like every time I try to make it bigger, it goes to some other stuff. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna go right back to it.
Out of my house.
up at her hospital that's complaining to her hospital on Facebook saying that this person needs to be fired. They got her name up there talking about this person needs to be fired. This person needs to be fired. Don't recommend. And see, this is what I'm telling you. Not only are these hospitals in it for the money, but it's a PR campaign at the same time. They don't need this type of press. And that's why she got fired. Yeah, she got fired. She got fired, bruh. All for arguing with this broad over whatever. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the pettiness is not worth it at the end of the day. It's not worth it. And take your badge off. If you're gonna get into it with somebody, take your badge off. They don't need to know. You don't need to be flexing your salary on people, because that's why this is what this was really about. Because again, if it wasn't about that, if she wasn't a nurse, nobody would care. Yeah, all these. Huh. Yep. So that's that. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just petty. Now, for the second story, I got another story for y'all before we go into the main topic. We're moving through quite quickly. Denver, the state of Denver, have seen more nurses wanting to work. And can you take a guess why? Oh, boy. Let me see. Hold on. Stay. Let me see. Okay. So let's get into the next story. Ladies and gentlemen. Denver, Colorado, boys and girls, they're doing something right. Denver, Colorado sees more interest in people wanting to work for their two psychiatric hospitals in the state because they've done something. They've raised the bonus and raised the pay. You don't say. You don't say, ladies and gentlemen. I told you what was going to happen. I mean, again, some people are going to catch on. Some people are not. It is what it is, but they will all eventually catch on eventually. So let's see what they're talking about. It says, since increasing hiring bonuses, state sees more nurses.
It's the Memorial Day super sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, save.
But yeah, it says, since increasing hiring bonus, state sees more nurse hires and interest at its 2 mental health hospitals. Man, rocket science.
Colorado is in dire straits when it comes to nurses who are invaluable and take care of all of us.
The national consulting firm Mercer says we're in the top 5 states when it comes to the need for registered nurses. It says this year we are short nearly 5,600 RNs in Colorado, and that situation could become more dire in the next 3 years. The number expected to jump to as many as 10,000 nurses short. This is because hundreds of nurses are retiring or leaving the profession, and there is an increased demand for care among the elderly population. And the need is even greater in our state's 2 psychiatric hospitals. Earlier this year, we told you that the state was giving nurses a $14,000 signing bonus if they agreed to work in one of those hospitals.
That's a start. It's not enough if you ask me, though, especially in psychiatric hospitals. I done seen a couple nurses got for real to the point to where they wasn't coming back working in them psychiatric hospitals. So I done seen some interviews from some psych MPs about how they've been attacked and all that kind of stuff. So 14,000, it's a start for a bonus, but it's definitely not enough. Nowhere near enough, if you ask me. But you know, it's a good look in the right direction. Let's continue.
Denver 7's Veronica Acosta recently followed up to learn just how enticing it's been for the nurses and how great the need is.
This brand new unit at the Colorado Mental Health Hospital in Fort Logan sits empty. The beds are untouched. The chairs have never been sat in. But it's not because there aren't patients, rather not enough nurses to care for them.
What's important?
Not enough pay.
Important to understand is that as a result of the pandemic, we are operating at over 40% vacancy.
I'm telling y'all, this is why it's such a good time to get in. You better get in, get in, because in the next 2 to 3 years, 4 years, it's finna be on and popping. It's finna be on and popping, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, when they start retiring, boy, it ain't gonna even be funny. Like, it's really gonna be sad, but this is really the time to get in. 40%. Come on, bro.
At those hospitals.
This is also the case at the Colorado Mental Health Hospital in Pueblo. Between the two hospitals, there's a need for about 250 nurses, which is why the state decided to offer a big incentive, a $14,000 hiring bonus.
That's not enough. It's nowhere near enough. They're making it seem like that. I mean, I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the nurses in Denver, who getting that bag, but that's definitely not enough. But it's again, like I said, it's a start in the right direction.
This is a commitment to mental health treatment. I think $14,000 is a lot of money.
No,
Earlier this year, the hiring
now why
bonus
she lying?
was
She know that's not a lot of money. Not for what they finna go through. Why she lying like that? She know better than that.
$7,000. That's when Matthew Parham took the job.
It is. It's huge.
He's a night shift nursing supervisor at the Fort Logan.
He got to say that because he's on TV. He has to say that. He know good and well that's not enough money.
Campus. He made the transition from an ER.
Now, I'll say this, because a lot of the times when they do them hiring bonuses, them sign-on bonuses, they usually break it off in the increments. Now, are you like throughout the year? Now, are you gonna give that bag all at once? That $14,000 all at once, and I gotta stay here for a year? Like, how are they working it out? You know what I'm saying? Or I gotta be here 6 months. How are they working it out? Most likely they probably just gonna break it up into increments. Probably like every quarter you'll get a portion of it.
This setting, not only because of the signing bonus, but for the kind of care he's now providing.
I like seeing that ongoing care. I like having kind of a little bit of the reward of seeing somebody brought back to a sustainable state and hopefully being able to get back out to the community and live, whatever normal life they can.
It's not an easy job, but it's one Matthew finds fulfilling and one that needs more people like him now.
I think that it takes a unique perspective.
Yeah, they need more people to be okay with taking a lower bonus. It's not gonna happen. Good luck with that. Of course, they need more people like him. They want people like him so they can come in and say, hey, we're gonna give you $14,000, but your chances of getting hurt are very much increased, and all kind of stuff. So yeah, we need more people like Matthew. And shout out to Matthew. I'm not mad at Matthew, because that might be a bag to Matthew. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that might be the most money he ever made. So shout out to him. But again, I'm not mad. I'm not hating on Matthew. But again, like, no, that's definitely not enough. No, sir. And they got it. That's the part I be, tripping about. Y'all got the bread. So that's the crazy part. But let's continue.
Yeah, I think it takes somebody that has a calling for this type of work.
Because these rooms are...
Yeah, because they say that you got to have a calling to accept this low-ass pay. And to put up with all the BS that you finna go through. So yeah, you definitely got to have a calling.
empty.
Think of what we could do with that extra 100 beds, how many more people we can serve.
Think of all the money we can make with those extra 100 people, with that insurance. Think of all that insurance money we could make. Man, I wish these people stopped capping on here, but it's okay. They got to. But that's why I'm here to break it down for you.
And with more nurses, more patients could be helped. I'm Veronica.
More money, well, more nurses, more patients could be helped, which means more money can be made for the hospital. Let's keep it real.
Denver 7.
Yeah, and a bit shocking here, in all of last year, only 4 nurses were hired for these 2 psychiatric hospitals. But since they upped the hiring bonus to $14,000, 4 nurses have already been hired, and then another 39 have applied.
Out of 250. They saying that like that's a lot. That's not a lot. When you need 250, that's not a lot. They making it seem like that's a big deal. Like, I mean, that's cool, but come on, bro. Can we stop playing games for 1 minute? He said 39 out of 250. Stop it. Can we just stop it for a second? But let's read this part. It said months ago, the state of Colorado began offering nurses a $14,000 hiring bonus if they went to work at one of its 2 psychiatric hospitals, a move that has proven to be successful. In all of 2022, the state of Colorado was only able to hire 4 nurses for its 2 psychiatric hospitals. This year, 4 nurses and 39 are in the hiring stages. Officials within the state decided they needed to increase the hiring bonus amount because of the dramatic need for more nurses at its 2 psychiatric hospital. As its mental health hospital in Fort Logan, an entire wing of the hospital sits empty. They don't like an empty hospital, ladies and gentlemen. No, sir, that's a no-no. We don't want no empty hospitals. We need people up in them hospitals. What y'all doing? All right, let's see if they'll bite at 14K. Let's see if they'll bite at that. Let's see. The beds in that unit are untouched. The chairs, okay, so they said all that in the video. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. I mean, they doing what they got to do to bring the people in. 39 is a good start, but you need 250. So again, they still gonna be working short because trust me, they're going to fill that place to capacity. All right. Them chairs need to be sat in, the beds need to be laid in, and that money needs to be made. So they're going to bring that hospital to full capacity before they reach a 250 goal. Just want to let you know that right now, ladies and gentlemen. But let's get into our main story. And good morning to all the people that are here. Happy Mother's Day once again to all the mothers out there. We have a sad story to bring to you, the main topic. Ladies. I need y'all to be careful out here in these streets. I really need y'all to be careful out here in these streets. This is wild. This is definitely wild. So, and it's crazy because this happened actually very, very close to where I live. So let's set this up. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get to the other one actually. Yeah, hold on. But I need y'all to be careful out there because people are watching. They're always watching. And you know, that lady, the first lady that we talked about was a prime example. The first lady that we talked about was a prime example. And you see, all they needed was her name tag and she got fired. So although these situations are two totally different, you still need to be careful. I've heard of instances where nurses were getting robbed, especially during the pandemic when everybody and their mama was aware that nurses were making 10K a week and all this kind of stuff. And so yeah, I need y'all to be careful. Be careful. So we're about to get into the story. I want to show y'all a couple things first, though, I want to show y'all this video. So let me stop this screen. Shout out to all y'all in the chat. I appreciate y'all being here this early on a Mother's Day. Y'all make sure, you know, for those who moms are still living, y'all make sure y'all go see y'all mama. Okay. Okay.
And thanks for staying with us so early on a Sunday morning. Moments. Thanks for staying up with us early on a Sunday morning. Moments ago, police confirmed the body of Patrice Wilson has been found.
She is the Detroit nurse who investigators say was kidnapped leaving work yesterday morning. Let's get out to our Megan Woods with the very latest on this. Megan.
Rod, Priya, just a disturbing and heartbreaking update to this case. As you mentioned, Patrice Wilson now confirmed dead. Now, what sources are telling us is that that 29-year-old was found shot in the back of an SUV that was parked in her Novi apartment complex off of Haggerty. Here's what we know leading up to her death. Patrice was last seen around 7:40 yesterday morning near Detroit Receiving Hospital where she worked. Police say the nurse had just gotten into her car in a parking lot near the hospital when
that area she works in is a dangerous area. I mean, it's not, you know, like, it's no other way to put it. It's a high crime area. A lot of drug addicts over there and everything like that. They need security. They need a boost up in security. These women need to be walked to their cars and all kinds of stuff. There's no reason that this woman should have had her life taken. Leaving work, of all places. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let the video finish playing.
When a man jumped in, and police say that man is suspect Jameer Miller. He's said to be armed and dangerous and still out there. So if you have any information, you're asked to call Detroit police. We're still
getting. Oh my God. Ad gonna pop up right before. Okay. So y'all see Jameer Miller, that's his name. This sounds like an instance of another psycho simp who was probably upset that she broke up with him. And this is him right here. Now, New Era Detroit, they're on it. I saw them post on it. They're looking for him and everything like that. But this just, to me, this sounds like another instance of a psycho simp who could not get over the fact that, you know, they probably broke up. I don't know the details of their relationship. I have no idea. But ladies, this is why I be trying to tell y'all nurses, y'all get into this bag, y'all get into this money. A lot of these dudes be knowing y'all nurses. Y'all have to be careful with who y'all are out here dating. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of these dudes out here that are legit super simps, psycho simps that will do this to you. And you have to be careful. And it's not all, but it happens. And I want y'all to stay safe out here in these streets. It's no reason this woman should have lost her life. A lot of these dudes don't know how to handle a breakup. They don't know how to, when a woman ain't feeling them no more, they don't know how to get over it. So they on something. If I can't have you, nobody else can. And y'all gotta be careful out here in these streets. And you know, my heart goes out to her family. She had a son, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, the son lost his mom the day before Mother's Day. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's horrible. You dig what I'm saying? So it says Jameer Miller, 36 years old. 36-year-old man, almost 40 years old, did this to this woman. Psycho ass sip. And it's crazy because her body was found very close to where we stay at, which goes to show you that crime can happen anywhere. Although she was abducted, you know, in another area. But let me see. It says Police are searching for the man who they say kidnapped 29-year-old nurse from Detroit receiving parking lot. Jameer Miller, 36 years old, allegedly kidnapped Patrice Wilson on Saturday. Wilson found in a truck of an SUV suffering from a shot wound to the head, a gunshot wound to the head. No, a gunshot wound. Officials say that Miller and Wilson knew each other and that this is possibly a domestic violence case. Reports by Detroit police were released Saturday stating that Miller was deemed armed and dangerous. If anyone has information on Miller's whereabouts, please call 313-596-1290. Yeah, it's not a good look. But ladies, I need y'all to be extremely careful out here in these streets.
It's time to silently drive away in a
I know a lot of y'all work nights. Now, the one thing that I can say about
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Right now, a manhunt is underway for this man, a 36 accused of kidnapping a local mother whose body police discovered last night.
Victim is 29-year-old Patrice Wilson. All night, we were working on getting you new information on the case, and the investigators have just released that now.
Let's get right over to our Megan Woods with the latest on Patrice's story and what investigators are doing to capture the man they say took her life. Good morning, Megan.
Good morning, Priya, Rod. So it is confirmed that Patrice was found dead in the trunk of an SUV. It appears that she was shot, and police are still searching for the suspect, Jameer Miller. If you've seen him, you're asked to reach out to police. So here's what we know leading up to her kidnapping. Take a look. Police say Patrice Wilson, a 29-year-old nurse, was abducted around 7:40 Saturday morning. She had just gotten into her car in a parking lot near Detroit Receiving Hospital when a man jumped in.
He approached our victim as she was getting into her driver's side of her vehicle. He then got inside of the vehicle, forced her over, and fled with her inside.
This is a photo of the black 2020 Lincoln Nautilus the two took off in. The suspect, 36-year-old Jameer Miller, is considered armed and dangerous, although police wouldn't go into detail about whether he was armed at the time of the kidnapping. Police do believe the two know one another.
We're thinking it may be domestic related.
We're hoping for the safe return of Patrice Wilson, so you can imagine look up to this news, especially her family, her mother. You know, this morning is Mother's Day, and so this is always going to be remembered as just a heartbreaking day. And then again, the fact that Patrice was a mother, and so that's difficult for her child, as we can all just imagine. So again, police are looking for that suspect. We want to show you a photo of him one more time. It is Jameer Miller, 36-year-old. Police consider him armed and dangerous. So if you see him, if you know anything, you're asked to call 1-800-SPEAK-UP or Detroit Police Department. Reporting live in Detroit, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
All right, thank you so much, Megan. And the Michigan State Police Crime in Michigan publication tells us there were more than 90,000 reported victims and 105 reported murders related to domestic violence in 2017. If you or anyone you know is experiencing domestic violence, there is help available around the clock. Call the National Domestic Hotline number. That is 1-800-799-SAFE-7233.
There are trained counselors available 24 hours a day to provide confidential crisis intervention support, information, and referrals to local programs to victims of domestic violence, their families, and friends. Once again, that number, 800-799-SAFE.
Yeah, and that's a terrible situation, y'all. Like, that's heartbreaking. But I need y'all ladies to be careful out here, because I'm sorry, I was mistaken. I thought she was abducted at night and getting off work at night, but she was actually abducted in broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? 7:40 in the morning. So that was my mistake. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. A lot of y'all gotta, I don't know, man. Cause this is why y'all better start carrying like mace. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all can't have like firearms in a hospital and all that, but like y'all got to start carrying mace, or like maybe take a self-defense class or something like that. Or, you know, just be aware of where you work at and what kind of area. And I'm sure she, you know, it's a chance she could have did all that, but just to protect yourself, mace, maybe have you like a little switchblade or something like that. Something, you know what I'm saying, to protect yourself. Maybe take you to a self-defense class, something, you know what I'm saying, because that shouldn't have happened. And a lot of you dudes, man, you know, y'all don't know how to let it go. You know, they speculating this is a domestic violence situation. We don't know. But I'm sure more is going to come out as the days go on. But y'all don't know how to move on, bro. You know what I'm saying? If because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like if I can't have you, nobody else can. Like, bro, if she not rocking with you no more, then just move on. You ain't gotta be no psycho simp out here trying to do harm to people because they don't want to deal with you in that matter no more. Just move on, find you somebody else, get you some therapy, and move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what they be talking about. This is what they be talking about. Just gotta move on, do you. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till they find him, because they gonna find him. Okay, and I hope they do horrible things to him. Because again, I don't care, you know, how y'all may have ended. Nobody deserves to lose their life. You dig what I'm saying? You just walk away. But again, ladies, I just want you to really be careful who y'all out here dealing with, who y'all letting up in y'all house, who y'all letting up in y'all cars, who y'all letting know what y'all do and where y'all work at. You dig what I'm saying? Because if this is a domestic violence situation, he knew exactly where she worked at. He knew exactly what time she got off. You know what I'm saying? He knew a lot. And it's unfortunate that in 2023, you got to take all these precautions, but that's just the way it is now. You know what I'm saying? So you got to watch yourself. You got to be careful. Stop telling these dudes where you work at. Stop telling them what you do for a living and all that kind of stuff. And just really do what you got to do to protect yourself. Because it can happen to anybody. Fellas, same to you too. A lot of y'all be out here flossing and all that kind of stuff. And that's why, you know, I be telling y'all got to watch it too. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of y'all be running through these chicks and all that kind of stuff. And they get in their feelings and they might have somebody do something to you. This is real life. It happens every day. So I just want y'all to be careful, bro. And just watch yourself. Watch your surroundings and everything like that. Because we got a lot of crazy people out here in this world. So, but anyway, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. I gotta go spend some time with my mama, spend some time with my grandma. I want to say it one more time: Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and hopefully it's a good one for you. Shout out to everybody that's at work right now, that's about to get off work or that's going to work. Y'all be careful. Watch yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Even in the daytime, watch yourself. You never know who watching you. So anyway, my name is CJ, aka the High Value Nurse, checking in once again, back with another stream. Hit that like button, hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button. We are on the way to 4,000 subscribers, and I need y'all helping me get there. Share this video, share the other videos, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna holler at you in a minute. Peace. You said, oh wait, hold on. You said you never talk about your income, big or small. Yes, I do. You must be new. I posted check stubs and I posted all that kind of stuff. You must be new. I definitely talk about my income. I don't do it every day, but to the day ones that's here, I'll post the whole check stubs on Instagram and on YouTube. I think the one on YouTube is probably still here. So yeah, there goes that. But anyway, I'm gonna holler at y'all in a minute. Peace.